We're in Tiné, a border town between Chad and Sudan. It's here, on Chadian territory, that fighting between Sudanese warring parties in Darfur spilled over several times in March, leaving dozens of civilians dead and an unknown number of army casualties.
جيراننا السودانيين عندهم مشاكل يداوسوا بيناتهم وادين كان جاروا ببندق هناهم بسلاح هناهم بيجي بيلموا في الشعب ده وفي الشعب ده كان قال بيضربوا ده مع أوبي يجي أوبي تابين وبيجي يبقى هنا 3 4 مرات ناسنا ماتوا هنا يجي قدام نادم جاي من السودان ببندق بوتير ديزارمي في فرونتير ده بندقة سلموا له سيكوريتي كان يقول بيجي بيقول ضربوا يبقى توربورو يبقى اسمه شنو FSR ضربوا.
Machine guns, artillery and armoured vehicles. Chad's threats appear to be being put into action. More than 100 military vehicles are gathered here. Several members of Adam Hamid Arim's family were injured in a drone strike from Sudan that killed at least 19 people, and some of his relatives are still missing. Adam knows that several hundred residents of Tiné are now armed, and he fears that in retaliation they may cross into Sudan and join the conflict.
Even after such an event, as a responsible person, I cannot tell my Chadian brothers to go to war. Sooner or later, someone would see this video. From that point on, the state must step in, take responsibility and protect the country, or it will fail in its duty and there will be serious consequences.
This is the main risk here. Every time Chadian civilians or soldiers are killed because of spillover from the Sudanese conflict, activists, often from abroad, call for revenge on social media. Messages of hate that often combine war rhetoric with racist language. In neighbouring Sudanese Darfur, the army, led by de facto ruler General Abakar, and the Toroboro militia fight the Rapid Support Forces rebels, led by Mohamed Hamdan Dagalo, better known as Hemeti. The sound of the fighting regularly reaches the streets of Tiné. A number of fighters regularly seek refuge in Chad to receive medical treatment. Here in Tiné, only wounded Sudanese soldiers and allied Toroboro militia fighters are accepted by the local population, as many share the same ethnic background.
Last week, especially on Friday and Saturday, there was an RSF attack on the Sudan side. And here at the hospital, we received more than 127 wounded people.
I was with my unit in Tiné, Sudan. The Rapid Support Forces attacked us there first, and we fought them for 3 consecutive days. On the last night of the fighting, as I was heading for the border to cross into Chad, I was shot at. Wounded, I rushed towards Tiné in Chad, but an RSF fighter stabbed me right at the border.
For medical staff, the presence of Sudanese soldiers is a danger.
That possibility, well, we can already see that drones are targeting places where there are Sudanese soldiers. And we're treating Sudanese soldiers here. Before, we were working over at Mabruka Hospital. That hospital is closer to the border than this one. We were right in the middle of our work when it started there. Bullets started flying through the hospital. Shells were landing very close. We had to scatter, and some people even had to climb over the walls to escape.
Sudanese soldiers receiving treatment in Chad are often targeted by RSF rebels, who do not hesitate to cross into Chadian territory. The insecurity is also threatening Sudanese refugees in Tiné's transit camp as the Darfur conflict catches up with them.
We often go and see the refugees to find out how they're feeling these days. How do you feel here? How are you coping with the current situation?
The truth is, we're living in fear. Every day there are bombings, gunfire, or we hear fighting. For several days now, we've not felt safe at all. We couldn't even celebrate Eid in peace.
The growing instability has led the United Nations to ban its staff from travelling there.
Without the United Nations and with the increase of refugees, there have been many difficulties. Thefts have increased, there's insecurity in the town and around. There's also a severe shortage of water here.
In mid-March, the authorities ordered the evacuation of all Sudanese refugees from the Tiné area, just days after closing the border with Sudan completely. They also announced they were ready to retaliate, even on Sudanese territory, in the event of any new cross-border attack.